Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? Texas Redleg here. Just want to talk about a topic that we are growing too familiar with. It seems like today's day and age. Most recent history, probably starting back about 6 months ago, 7 months ago, and that's this civil unrest they want to call it, or rioting, as I like to call it, conducted by professional rioters. Um, Man, I don't know if we're in a civil war or a soft civil war. It probably depends on where you live. Um, it's certainly not a full blown thing at this point, but I could see it going to that if things continue the way they do, and institutions keep deteriorating like they do. Personally, where I'm at, I think we're okay, but I think you're going to start seeing pockets of this behavior being mimicked, especially in the Democratic controlled locales and jurisdictions. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to condition people to accept this as what you're going to get if Donald Trump is reelected rather. So they're basically strong arming or trying to intimidate, blackmail, if you will, the rest of us who believe in America, believe in freedom, blackmail us or intimidate us into not voting for Donald J. Trump. And I think they're willing to spend capital and invest in people anywhere they can to ensure that that happens. So it's up to us to stand tough and push back, on that malarkey coming to our neighborhoods if you don't want that sort of thing. I mean, there is no way that this type of activity is going to stop. Certainly not before the election, and certainly not after the election, should Donald J. Trump win re-election, which I think he will. I hope he will. So people need to be prepared to stand up. And if you live in a Democratic controlled jurisdiction, okay, and you own firearms, and you're put in a position to defend yourself with lethal force, deadly force, you might want to reconsider that and get the hell out of where you're at. It's always, better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6, but if those 12 are going to put you behind bars regardless of whether or not you committed a crime, it's not a very, very, very fair fight. I think you need to consider the jurisdictions that you're in and how they're treating law-abiding citizens, i.e. the McCloskeys, i.e. Rittenhouse. They're going to try to ruin this guy's life. His life's already going to be tough because he had to take two people's lives that were threatening him. So emotionally, he's already going to have an issue, going through life. And then they want to break him and keep him behind bars the rest of his life too, to show us that who are we to think we can defend ourselves. So I think you need to consider where you're at, people. If you can't change it, you might want to get the hell out, because if you look at the primaries that have recently happened, the people that went up against AOC, Omar, I mean, it's Tlaib. They're getting pushed back in. So their constituents obviously like what they're doing. So this might be a sign for you. This is likely to come again. So again, if you can't change your voting situation, if you can't change your controllers, you might want to get the hell out and go somewhere else where it's more that leans more to your liking regarding politics and the quality of life that you want. I mean, it's insane what these poor people up in Minneapolis are having to deal with. Chicago, Seattle, Portland, Austin. What a crying damn shame. So, people, it's a real deal. And, we're probably in a soft civil war in a lot of locations. A lot of patriots haven't stood up yet. They're starting to. But when real patriots start getting involved, it's going to get real messy. And you need to be prepared for that. All this prepping talk that we do, all this, get this, get that, stock this, don't stop, keep going. I mean, these are the reasons why we say it. So you're always ready to do things like this, You're always ready to make a move. You're always in a position of strength and not, you're not on the defense necessarily. You've got strengths, you've got items, you've got strategy, you've got things that you already know you're going to do should the balloon go up and things go downhill. So, are we in a soft civil war? Probably in some locations. Is it likely to spread? I would say probably you can count on that, regardless of the outcome of the election. They're going to raise holy hell. You haven't seen any meltdowns yet. Wait till Donald J. Trump gets reelected. I mean, you ain't seen nothing yet. These people are giving you a precursor to what they're capable of. And they want to disband law enforcement, and they want to take our firearms from us. Well, wow. Well, at least this is a pretty good disadvantage, doesn't it? So anyway, we got to think about these things, people. Here in Texas, we have things like we like it. Apart from the big cities of the urban areas of Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, those inner city urban areas are all left-leaning, no question about it. But you get out here in the suburbs, you get out in the rural areas of Texas, we're very conservative for the most part. And that if we're able to keep Texas red, it'll be because of that. All right, the people in the cities don't give a damn. All right, it's insane what these people do. You could not pay me to live in the city of Dallas. Ain't gonna happen. And I'll tell you what, anybody that lives in the city of Dallas to me is a damn fool. That goes for Austin, San Antonio, and Houston. All right, I'm not saying you don't have good neighbors that you like, but from a standpoint of taxation, security, homelessness, reduction of services, less law enforcement or no law enforcement. I mean, it's pretty simple, people. If people vote for this kind of crap, they need to take their medicine. All right? They need to take their medicine. That doesn't mean you have to sit there and take it with them. So, I think a lot of people have some hard decisions to make. Regardless of the outcome of the election, the writing is on the wall. You have to pay attention to these signs. If you can't fight and change your situation, then you probably need to leave. So anyway, I don't want to beat a dead horse on that, but we just have to be smart about what we're doing. Defending yourself with a deadly weapon. Be sure and be smart. Know the jurisdiction that you're in. Are you going to have a fighting chance in hell to keep yourself out of prison, even if you abide by the law? Think about that. You got people that are abiding by the law and still getting locked up. That's a problem. So use your sense, use your intuition, and make smart decisions. I hope all of you are okay. Keep prepping. Stack it deep. Long live the Republic.